बीए पार्ट फर्स्ट के विद्यार्थियों के लिए आज हम पोएम द विलेज स्कूल मास्टर दैट वाज रिटन बाय ओलिवर गोल्ड स्मिथ इस पोएम के बारे में बात करेंगे। द पोएम फर्स्ट describes an abandoned schoolhouse that was once noisy and led by a stern schoolmaster who took education and teaching seriously. Throughout the poem, the narrator describes how the children perceived him. Although he was stern, they laughed at his jokes and recognized his kindness, and they admired all his knowledge and talent. Now, the narrator remarks that all of it is the past and the schoolmaster is not here anymore. The Village Schoolmaster is a poem that exemplifies Oliver Goldsmith's whimsical and light-hearted humor, inimitable characterization, and coherent style. Written in iambic pentameter couplets, which are characteristics of 18th century heroic poems, Goldsmith's verse is nostalgic in its remembrance of the schoolmaster who was once an integral part of a rural setting. Although humorously pointing to the village master's idiosyncrasies, there is nevertheless an underlying criticism of the decline of the rural countryside and its villages that were forced to give way to modernization, but past is all his fame. The village schoolmaster is described as severe and stern, yet he tells many a joke and is also depicted as being kind and dedicated. The sorry, the village schoolmaster is actually a fragment of a longer poem called The Deserted Village, which is a description and social commentary on a village that has been abandoned by its residents. The final line of the village schoolmaster refers to the abandonment of the village when it says, the very spot where many a time he tramped is forgotten. It was first published in 1770. Although the full poem was quite popular, it was also controversial due to its disparagement of the pursuit of excessive wealth and disdain of the corrupting influence of the luxury. The village schoolmaster opens with a description of the fence and the shrubs that surround the school building. It then zooms in on the schoolmaster. In appearance, he is severe and stern. In other words, he looks as if he is a strict disciplinarian. In his expression, students can read if the day has been difficult. The schoolmaster often tells jokes, and the student laugh to please him, whether or not they think that the jokes are funny. If they see him frown, they are concerned and whisper to each other about it. However, the poem emphasizes that he is a kind man, and if he is ever severe, it is only because he is so concerned that the students learn their lessons. The entire village is impressed by the schoolmaster's education. He can not only read and write, but he can also do arithmetic, is skilled at debate, and has an impressive vocabulary. The simple rustic villagers marvel how one person can know so much. The time during which the schoolmaster was famous as a man of learning is in the past, though, and the school where he taught is forgotten. Sorry. The speaker describes a dilapidated fence, dotted and blooming gorse bushes, and says that the old schoolhouse used to be quite noisy, presided over by the school teacher. The teacher was severe and stern. The speaker says that he knew this teacher well and his students learned to read their teacher's mood by the expression on his face. His students would laugh at all the jokes he told, hoping to extend his periods of levity. The speaker admits that the teacher was also kind and loved learning so much. Everyone could tell how much the teacher knew. He could read and write, do math, measure the land, and predict the tides. Even the parson had to admit that the teacher could speak well, using awe inspiring words, and people would come and gather to listen. It amazed everyone so much knowledge could fit inside one small head. But now all the teacher's fame is past and his trumps are forgotten. The Village Schoolmaster is a poem that explain the characteristics of a schoolmaster. The village master is described as severe and stern, yet he tells many a joke and is also depicted as being kind and dedicated. Full well the busy whisper conveyed the dismal tidings when he frowned, and yet he was kind, or if severe in aught, the love he bore to learning was involved. Truly, the schoolmaster is an integral member of the village, capable of affection and yet ready to discipline the children when necessary. His sternness comes from his desire for his students to learn. The love he bore to be learning was his fault. As the poem concludes, the speaker praises the schoolmaster because he is more knowledgeable than many others, and he could argue still as well as many other men. Certainly, the schoolmaster holds an important role in the community as he teaches the youth and is capable of helping the men with more challenging tasks, such as measuring their land and conducting legal issues, terms and ties processes. Indeed, the schoolmaster is portrayed as an important member of the village, and it is with a nostalgic tone that the speaker of the poem recalls the sport where many a time he trumped is forgot. In fact, the schoolmaster was wonder of the gazing rustics. These people were so awed by the schoolmaster that they often wondered how one small head could carry all he knew. In the end, the narrator ends the poem with the sad proclamation that the schoolmaster no longer teaches at the schoolhouse, past it all his fame, and that the very spot where many a time he trumped is forgot. Basically, the schoolmaster's accomplishments have been consigned to the oblivion of a forgotten past. In the modern world, the schoolmaster only serves as a quaint reminder of the old ways. The village schoolmaster, an ironic admirer, describes the schoolmaster's school as beyond a straggling fence. It wasn't large in reality, but using the imagery of a mansion, the schoolmaster gained some image of greatness in miniature. The schoolmaster's physical qualities are described as stern with easily read expressions. He was a kind and very learned man and he know many subjects. So, dear student, this was a summary of the poem The Village Schoolmaster.